What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sector for Nerds. I'm Ryan Brower, and today I'm here to talk with you guys about The Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 3, The Solitary Clone. An episode that I just got done texting my brother. This episode was fire, and it was like 10 fire emojis, because this episode was freaking awesome. But before we get into it, you guys, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time watching, welcome. I'm someone who likes to do a lot of discussion videos on the latest episodes that appear on Disney Plus from both Star Wars and Marvel. A lot of that been going on lately on the channel and is going to be happening on the channel. We've been doing it since the start of Disney Plus and we'll continue to do it as more shows are released. I've also been doing a lot of video game content lately, specifically with Jedi Fallen Order in the lead up to Jedi Survivor. So I highly encourage you guys to check that stuff out. Make sure you guys subscribe. It's free and it really helps to support my channel. Also, head over to Top 10 Character Moments as well. That's my second YouTube channel where I create top 10 videos on characters' best moments and why I like them so much. There is so much that I want to talk about with this episode, you guys. So, I don't even know where to start. I think, the first thing that we can kind of discuss is the fact that there was no Bad Batch this week. And it wasn't like the Ryloth episode where you had them in there for maybe 2-3 minutes or whatever, but then the rest of it was about, Cham and Hera and everybody else. This was different. This was probably, I think, the first time that we didn't have a single Bad Batch member involved, current member of the Bad Batch involved, because of course there's Crosshair in this, and the episode was very much about him and another clone that goes by the name of Commander Cody. Only 3 episodes in, and I already have to change up my formula for the Bad Batch Member of the Week segment that I started out last week. Now, for those who don't know and didn't watch last week, which by the way, I highly recommend you guys go and check out that video, because I talk about not 1, but 2 episodes, because we got 2 episodes last week. I started a new segment called the Bad Batch Member of the Week, or the Untitled Bad Batch Member of the Week, because I said if there was any name for this segment that you guys liked better, you could write it in the comments below. I'd take it into consideration. And I did 2 different awards last week. Episode 1 went to Hunter, and then episode 2 was a tie for Echo and Tech. So I kind of already had to change it up there because I'm I don't know who to choose between Echo and Tech. So I made it a tie. This week, I got to choose somebody that's completely outside the Bad Batch because I really don't have any other choice. And I had either 2 choices. There was either Crosshair or there was Cody. And for me, I had to go with Cody. But we're going to talk about both Crosshair and Cody because I loved them both in this episode. But the fact that we got to see pretty much a Clone Wars style mission going on with Cody leading it. And I say Cody leading it, but there were definitely moments on that mission where Crosshair was calling the shots. And Cody noticed it too. He was looking at him wait a minute. But the reason why I choose Cody is specifically the final 5 minutes of this episode. Because that to me was my favorite part about the episode. One of the Imperial, I don't know if it's senators or moffs, I'm already forgetting off the top of my head. This person was being held hostage by someone else who is supposed to be the leader of this planet, and it's said that she knew Lux Bontari's mom and that they tried to put a stop to the war. They wanted peace, but then obviously the Republic rejected it. Obviously Dooku played a hand in that as well. There was a moment when she was talking about peace that I'm say peace is a lie. Just use that part of the Sith code. It doesn't have to mean anything oh, she knows about the Sith or blah, 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 blah. Just say that peace is a lie. That would have been so cool. But Cody's showing that he is fantastic in hostage negotiation situations because he goes in there and he's look, we just want to help. And, it's you kind of struggle, is he being genuine? Is he being insincere? And it's look, we're just trying to help. We're trying to bring peace to the galaxy. And it's you sit there and I'm okay, I feel in his mind, this is what he feels the Empire is doing. And that would maybe make sense, right? If he's still got the chip in his head and, stuff's going on, you know what I'm saying? So the stuff happens, right? But he gets the woman to release the prisoner, to release the hostage. And immediately I'm darn it, Crosshair's gonna take the shot. Fast forward 15 seconds later, he does. All because this senator or moff was oh, great, you got me out, shoot her. And Cody's what? No, I just negotiated peace. What are you doing? We're good. And then Crosshair, bam. And I'm oh, Cody's gonna want out, isn't he? Cody's gonna want out of this. No way. And we got TK troopers back in this episode, and at the end of the episode, there were even more of them that were invading the planet, and Cody to me was giving off the vibe of, crap, like, all my boys were being replaced. And then there was a line, which I loved even more than what happened here with Cody. I loved the next scene even more, where they're back on Coruscant, and there's a conversation going on between Cody and Crosshair. And Cody tells Crosshair, we make our own decisions. Which, of all people to say that, it was Commander Cody. The first clone to be given the Order 66 order, right? Like the dude that's like, yeah, blast Kenobi, when he fought side by side with him for years. Of all the people that's like, we make our own decisions, and then basically defects from the Empire, as we find out in the next scene between Crosshair and Rampart. Like, this is insane. And like, it just makes you feel for the clones that much more. Now, I don't fully understand these chips anymore, like how they work, if they're still active, if they wear off over time. But the fact that Cody, of all people, was one to defect, like that's just such a crazy thing. I honestly thought like Cody was going to be one of those clones, if anybody, that would have stuck around with the Empire, but the fact that he isn't is insane. And then screw Rampart. I want Rampart to die by the end of this show, and it'd be nice if he died this season. Crosshair goes to him, right, and he's like, why is Commander Cody not leading this mission? And Rampart goes, who? Knowing full well who Crosshair was talking about, but Crosshair just wanted him to say his number. The funny part was, even Rampart, at the beginning of this episode, having that first conversation with Crosshair was like, dude, like, you were stuck on Camino for like 32 rotations or whatever. Like, why are you still here? What are you doing? He's so loyal to this Empire. But I think what this season is going to do is that the more Crosshair sees stuff go down, I think the more he's going to question the Empire. I mean, obviously right now, he's clearly got no problem doing the stuff that he's doing. I mean, he freaking shot someone after Cody just worked himself out of a hostage situation. But I do think eventually it's going to click with him. And I do think that his brothers in the Bad Batch are going to play a part in that as well. Dude, I mean, freaking Crosshair couldn't even eat a meal in this episode. Like, both times, he's sitting there with his food. He's going to sit down. Looks like he's going to have some good food. And then all of a sudden, CT, blah, 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 whatever his number is, go to Rampart. I'm like, come on, man. You can't let this guy enjoy his food. For the battle droids, they brought Matt Wood back to voice them, which is fantastic. Shout out to Matthew Wood. But we saw a lot of different types of droids in this. We saw battle droids, we saw destroyers, which I'm like, all right, so we got some destroyers in here with working shields. And then we had commando droids, which was really surprising. I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's like, man, like I said, it felt like a Clone Wars style episode in a way, but then like kind of gave it that post Order 66 vibe with Cody and Crosshair and everything that went down there. Now I really want to know what's going to happen to Cody. Like, is he going to join Rex? Is he going to join the Bad Batch? Like, I don't think this is the last we've seen of Cody in this show. Yeah, you guys, I think that's all I've got to say about this episode for now. I really enjoyed this one, you guys. Bad Batch is such a fantastic show, you guys. I love it so much. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.
We went over the plan 5 times. I got the package, didn't I?